Hi guys, it's Lisa. Today we're gonna see exciting new releases for this second quarter of the year, so April, May and June. This will consist on a blend of young adult and adult fantasy, and we will see mainly new series, but a little bit also of sequels. And without further ado, let's get into it. And let's start with a story that it's perfect for the lovers of Night Circus and Caraval, which is Hotel Magnifique. This book, it's a young adult fantasy series, it's a new debut as well, and it will mainly has as a setting this whimsical hotel. In terms of tropes, there will be a little bit of a slow burn, there will be kind of like a chosen one in a sort of quest because our main girl will need to save her sister and get away from this hotel. It's a very plot-driven story, surprisingly dark at times, and it mainly has this whimsical magic that surrounds it.
Then we move forward to a book that has been very greatly praised.
We have Kaikeyi. This is a retelling of an Hindu story, but the story it's told under the point of view of the evil character of this legend. And we will have Kaikeyi, who is the daughter of this king, and she has been raised believing that magic exists, and she is kind of facing the harsh reality of she is only worthy as long as she can marry someone. And so at this point she starts to learn a little bit of magic, and so this sets her apart from being just a princess, and it sets her as a warrior and the favorite to rule the kingdom. However, things won't be easier for our girl, and she will need to make a lot of decisions. Then we move forward to a very much awaited sequel with The Hunger of the Gods, which is the continuation of The Shadow of the Gods by John Wayne. It's inspired in this Viking setting, and it's this frosty, savage land that will follow three main points of view. The first one is of this mother who is in the chase of her son that has been kidnapped. The second one is from this thrall that is seeking a vengeance from the killing of his sister, and the third one is of this noble woman that has kind of like seek her own path, and she has become a great warrior. And this story has kind of like a bigger layer, which is that the different clans are fighting against themselves, and that this land holds the bones of the gods, and whoever is able to find these bones, it's able to master a lot of magic.
And as you can imagine, things turn a little bit complex.
And concluding with April, we will have A Fevered Start, which is the continuation from A Black Sun, inspired by the civilizations of the pre-Columbian Americans. It tells the story of this holy city where the winter solstice is approaching, and at this date usually it's marked as a time of renewal, as a time of celebration, but this time a solar solstice happens, and it's supposed to be a time of imbalance and a time of change. And this story is supposed to be merged with another one led by this sailor that it's coming also to this city. She has special powers and also has a special hostage in her ship. The story goes from here. It's supposed to be very gripping, very different, and a fantastic story. Then we move to May, and we will start with the book of Night by Holly Black. This is her adult fantasy debut, and it's supposed to be a dark modern fantasy story that will follow our main girl. This main girl, it's supposed to be a thief, and she has been working all of her life with these people that are kind of like magicians, and these magicians are able to use the shadows to kind of like do bad things. And so she has escaped from this kind of band, and she's trying to remain safe, but she won't be able to escape her past, and she will be drawn again to these people, placing her kind of like in the core of a story that is supposed to be very political, it's supposed to be very gripping, had a lot of magic, and you know, just a dark side to it, so I cannot wait.
And then we change gears completely and we go to the Stardust theft,
which is supposed to be a story inspired by the 1001 Nights, and it will follow the story of a girl who is kind of a criminal, and she, with her Jean, a bodyguard, steals and then sells magic illegally. And then one day they are called by the Sultan, and they are tasked on finding this magic lamp that it's supposed to bring magic back, but it will have as a cost the death of all the genes, and she just basically cannot say no. And so this puts her with her gene and with the eldest son of the Sultan, seeking from this magic lamp. This story, again, it's getting a lot of good reviews from the early reviews. And then we go to June, which has not just amazing new releases, but one of my most anticipated sequels. So let's get into it. And we will start with a story that sounds incredibly different and thrilling, which is The Ballad of the Perilous Graves, set in New Orleans. And it will talk about the city that it's kind of like the center of it all. It has magic, and it has a piano that has different songs that keep the beat of the magic of the city together. And it seems that 9 songs from this piano escape, disrupting the balance of the city, which is the perfect combination for the chaos to erupt. And we will have our main protagonist searching and seeking from these songs and trying to put them back into place. This is a new debut, but it honestly sounds so fantastic. And then we go to the final strife, which is supposed to be a fantasy blend between African and Arabian vibes. And we will talk about a land that it's divided in different kind of sectors based on their blood. We will have the red blood, which is the ones that ruled the city. Then we have kind of like the blue one, which are the laborers, the people that works. And then we will have the clear bloods, which are the ones that are just slaves. And it seems that the story will talk on the different points of view, all of them combined in this moment where the different trials are held, and they're supposed to decide who are going to be the rulers of the different sides. And that's how the story will move forward. And before getting into the sequels, we conclude with a story that sounds a little bit dark but fantastic, which is a Relic and Ruin. And it will follow a Banshee and a Wraith. They have the power to rule the world or to destroy it. And this story will follow a land that is ruled by reapers and by necromancers, and this story is supposed to have kind of like 2 main very important characters. One of them is this person that has been raised in a family that is able to keep the balance between the reapers and the necromancers, and the other one is a character that has the memories erased, and it kind of like links fate, and very early on they are starting to be hunted. And then we move to the sequels, and the most exciting for me it's Locklands, which is book 3 in the Founders trilogy by Robert Jackson Bennett. I cannot be more excited. I've talked no end about this series, so I will be brief, and sorry again for bringing it up, but honestly, what better situation than this one. And this trilogy is set in this kind of like a little bit medieval land where there are different merchant houses. The magic is a heart system where people is able to inscribe elements, and these elements are to be commanded. They are persuaded to work as whatever you can do. And so as you can imagine, the power of these different merchant houses kind of like resides in their ability to craft these objects. And it seems that our main girl has a special ability, which is that she is able to sense objects and to know what they are thinking, which makes her the perfect thief. And somehow task her with stealing a box, and this box has a key, a very ancient artifact that it's able to change how this world works forever. This is a story that at its core it's a heist, but it's fantastic. Honestly, it's fantastic. Then we have another sequel which has a little bit of a fantasy romance element to it, and that is For the Throne, which is book 2, the continuation of For the Wolf. Book 1 has these forest setting, and we will talk about a land where the people is used to give the second daughters to the wolf, because this wolf it's kind of a warden that keeps evil magic away, and our main character is this second daughter. But of course, upon arriving, things will be different. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but it's way different, and I honestly really enjoyed how the story progressed. I think it's a very good blend between a character and a plot-driven story, and I cannot wait for book 2. And that was it for today. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this one, subscribe to the channel. I publish bookish content every Tuesday and Friday for you to enjoy. Let me know down below what are your most exciting releases, and I really hope to see you soon in other videos. Bye bye!